All right, this is the review for 4, and 4, 5. So we're going to start with 4, adding or subtracting rational expressions. All right, to add and subtract our rational expressions, just like we would do with regular fractions, we have to have a common denominator. So on number 1 here, we already have a common denominator. That common denominator is 5x to the 4th minus 20. Okay, so all we're doing here then is combining everything on our numerators. So we have x to the 3rd plus x squared minus 3. Okay, and then we have plus. So these are all going to stay the same signs. Plus 2x squared plus 3x and minus 5. Okay, we just got to combine like terms. So I have 1x to the 3rd. Okay, x squared, I have 1x squared and 2x squared is going to give me 3x squared. I have 3x, so plus 3x. And then minus 3 and minus 5 is going to give me minus 8. And it's all over 5x to the 4th minus 20. Okay, and that's going to be my solution. Right over here, same thing for number 2. We have the same denominator. Okay, so our same denominator is x minus 3. All right, so I'm going to combine these x minus 4. I need to distribute the negative, so it's going to be minus 2x and minus 7 because we're distributing the negative. So then I get negative x minus 11 over x minus 3. And there's my solution for the second one. Oops. All right, 3 and 4. So we notice here we don't have the same denominator, right? So we need to get a common denominator. The way we're going to do that is we're going to look for all the unique terms in the bottom on the denominator. So I have x minus 3 and I have x plus 6. So my common denominator here is going to be x minus 3 and x plus 6. X plus 3 and x plus 6. I'm sorry, x minus 3. And x plus 6. All right, what are we missing from the first denominator? The thing we're missing is the x plus 6, right? We have the x minus 3, but we're missing the x plus 6. If I multiply the bottom by x plus 6, I need to multiply the top as well. Okay, and then I distribute. That's going to be 4x plus 24. Okay, the second term, I have an x plus 6, but I'm missing the x minus 3, so I need to multiply the bottom by x minus 3. If I multiply the bottom by x minus 3, I need to multiply the top as well, so we don't change the value of the number. Okay, we're just changing the way it looks. Distribute my 8, I get 8x minus 24. Okay, and then now that my denominators are the same, I can add my numerators together. So 4x plus 8x is 12x. 24 minus 24 is 0, so my answer is just going to be 12x. And that's it. Okay, over here I see an x minus 1 and an x plus 3 on the bottom, so my common denominator is going to be x minus 1 times x minus 3. Sorry, x plus 3. Right, x minus 1. Okay. In the first term, we're missing the x plus 3, so we need to multiply the bottom by x plus 3. If we multiply the bottom by x plus 3, we need to multiply the top as well. We distribute our 5, we get 5x plus 15. Over here, we have x plus 3. We're missing the x minus 1. If I multiply the bottom by x minus 1 to get the denominator I want, I have to multiply by the top as well. So I get 6x minus 6. Okay, and then when I combine like terms, I need to make sure I distribute my negative. So what we need to do, right, we're going to distribute it to both. So this is going to become positive, which means this is negative 6x plus 6. So I have 5x minus 6x is going to give me negative x. Right, because we had to distribute that negative. So it becomes negative 6x and plus 6x. 15 plus 6 is 21. Okay. Let's look at number 5 and 6. All right, 5 and 6. First thing we want to do for 5 and 6 is we want to get a common denominator, but we need to factor our denominator first. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to use our x method. I'm going to do it over here. Right, so we have negative 12. We need to multiply to negative 12, add to positive 1. And that's going to be positive 4 and negative 3. So I'm going to factor, I have x plus 7 over, and I'm going to factor x squared plus x minus 12 into x plus 4 times x minus 3 plus x minus 2 over x minus 3. All right, I'm going to look at my denominators to see what my common denominator is. And my common denominator, I have an x plus 4 and an x minus 3. So my common denominator is going to be x plus 4 times x minus 3. Okay, so my first term is all set. I can just bring down my x plus 7. My second one, though, I'm missing an x plus 4. So I need to multiply this one by x plus 4 on the bottom. If I multiply the bottom by x plus 4, I'm going to need to multiply the top as well. Okay, but I have two binomials now, so I need to do first, outer, inner, last. X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. Negative 2 times x is minus 2x. And then negative 2 times 4 is minus 8. Okay, now I can combine like terms. I have x squared. I have 1x plus 4x is 5x minus 2x is 3x. And then I have 7 minus 8 is going to be minus 1. And that's all over x plus 4, x minus 3. And there's my solution. Okay, over here we need to factor first before we get our common denominators. So I have to find two numbers that multiply to negative 5 and add to 4. Okay, that's going to be positive 5 and negative 1. So I have x plus 1 over x plus 5 times x minus 1 minus x plus 2 all over x plus 5. Okay, my common denominator then is going to be x plus 5 times x minus 1. Right, I see x plus 5 and I see x minus 1. So it's going to be x plus 5, x minus 1. Right, the first one, our denominator's all set, right? So it's just going to be x plus 1. On the second one, though, we're missing the x minus 1. So I need to multiply the bottom by x minus 1. If I multiply the bottom by x minus 1, I need to multiply the top as well. So I need to make sure this is in parentheses. I have two binomials up here, so I need to do first outer, inner, last. I need a FOIL. Binomial distribution, x times x is x squared Okay, I have minus x plus 2x and minus 2. Okay, we need to distribute this negative to each term here, right? We're subtracting, so that negative needs to be distributed each term. So what I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to change the signs. This is net, so we're going to change this to a plus, and then this is negative, positive, negative, positive. Right, we change those signs there because we're subtracting. Okay, and then we combine like terms. So now I have negative x squared. I have x minus x plus x is 2x minus 2x is 0. And then I have 1 plus 2, which is going to give me 3. So I have negative x squared plus 3 over x plus 5, x minus 1. All right, so that's 5 and 6. Now let's do 7 and 8. Okay, I got to start off by factoring my denominators. So we got to do 2 of them this time. I got to do the first one. I need 2 numbers. Let's do the first one over here. I need 2 numbers that multiply to negative 6 and add to positive 1. So that's going to be positive 3 and negative 2. So I get 3 over x plus 3, x minus 2. Plus, okay, over here, I need 2 numbers that multiply to negative 8 and add to positive 2. That's going to be positive 4 and negative 2. So I have 4 over x plus 4, x minus 2. Right, to add these fractions together, I need a common denominator. So I have an x plus 3, an x minus 2, and an x plus 4. So I need to do x plus 4, x plus 3, and x plus 2. For both, sorry, x minus 2. For my denominator. So x plus 4, x plus 3, x minus 2. Okay, on the first one, my first denominator, I'm missing the x plus 4. So I need to multiply by x plus 4. If I multiply the bottom by x plus 4, I need to multiply the top as well. So I get 3x plus 12. Okay, the second one, I'm missing an x plus 3. So I need to multiply by x plus 3. X plus 3. So if I distribute, I'm going to get 4x plus 12. Okay, now that my denominators are the same, I can just combine like terms on the top. That's going to give me 7x plus 24 all over x plus 4, x plus 3, x minus 2. And there's my solution. All right, same thing on the next one here. We need to factor the denominator. So we have negative 10 and 3. So that's going to be positive 5 and negative 2. So I have x minus 2 over x plus 5, x minus 2. Okay, and I notice I have x minus 2 on the top and bottom, so I can cancel those off. So I really get 1 over x plus 5. Okay, that'll make things easier for me. Okay, and then I have minus x plus 3 all over. I have x squared plus 7x plus 10. So we want to factor that. Getting ahead of myself here. All right, let's factor that. So we need 2 things that multiply to 10 and add to 7. That's going to be 5 and 2. So I get x plus 5, x plus 2. Okay, so we get minus x plus 3, x plus 5, x plus 2. All right, so our common denominator then is going to be x plus 5 times x plus 2. So this one's all set. The second term is all set. The first one, though, we are missing. We are missing an x plus 2. So I got to multiply by x plus 2 over x plus 2. If I distribute, that's going to give me x plus 2. This was a 3 over here. Sorry, yeah, this one's x plus 3. Okay, and then I got to distribute my negative. So I get x minus x, which is 0, and then 2 minus 3, which is -1, all over x plus 5, x plus 2. And there is my solution. Okay, so that's 4, adding, subtracting rational expressions. Do another video here on 4, 5. So let me